Hello and welcome to Sampson Judo. Today we're going to concentrate on showing you how to do a rolling breakfall, Zenpo Kaiten Ukemi in Japanese. Okay, we've just shown you how to do a rolling breakfall. Now rolling breakfalls in Judo are very, very important. A lot of people dismiss them, but when you come to do advanced techniques like Tomoe Nage and a lot of sacrifice techniques, it's very important that you know how to roll, that way you don't hurt yourself, especially neck injuries. So what we've done, we've just done a standing rolling breakfall. Now how do I introduce you to, what do we do? So I like to start by teaching you by coming up onto your toes. That's the first step. A lot of people can squat very simple, and then all I want you to do is to put your hands between your legs and just do a forward roll, like so. That's fairly simple, but even that has its skill. And what we want you to do is to make sure you put your hands between your legs, and then X marks the spot. Try to roll right between your hands. And what's very important, don't have your hands straight, because we don't want you to get into the habit of rolling your fingers backwards, because sometimes that can hurt the wrist or hurt your fingers. So fingers inside, head as close to your toes as possible. Maybe look at your toes between your legs and just roll over. And just come up onto your toes. Now once you've done that, the next step is to be able to stand up, because you're not going to get thrown from down there, you're going to be up here. So psychologically you're now at a height. So the next step now is to get used to the height. So what we like you to do is basically end up back in the same position as we started, but because you're high, we want you to squat, put your hands down and roll. And back again. Okay? Now this is psychologically get you used to the height. So once again, squat, put your hands down and roll. Once you become confident in that, then you understand the height, your neck muscles are used to rolling over, and you know what it feels like. The next step is to introduce to you that rolling breakfalls are done right side and left side. And basically a very simple teaching rule is right leg forward, right hand. Left leg forward, left hand. Very simple exercise. So if you practice this a few seconds, it becomes a little bit more instinctive. In all breakfalls, as I always specify, the hand should be placed to the side, not forward, and definitely not like this. I've actually seen this happen, and you can break your wrist, especially if your body collapses. So the hand is put down. This hand is for you to roll on and also to support your body while you roll. So the next step we'd like you to do is basically come up on your right leg, your right hand's forward, and just like the forward roll, we'd like you just to roll in a straight line on your hand, following all the way around, past the elbow, around the shoulder, trying to simulate the first roll over. Now your toes must be up, so we want to be able to push. So don't do this with the toes down. So right leg up, both hands forward, you kick off, roll, and then do a nice rolling breakfall as you would have done left, right, back and forward. So again, right leg, or if you're going to do left side, left leg forward, hands across here. You kick and roll and do a nice breakfall. Stay nice and low, making your feet are apart. So that's the next step. Right leg, left leg. Right leg, left leg. And this is a nice exercise because everything in Judo is about movement, it's about coordination, and it's about awareness. Once you've got confidence in that, then we'd like you to stand up. And exactly the same principle is right leg, left leg. Now again, we emphasize that the rolling breakfall is to roll on your arm, along your elbow, up the shoulder, the back of your neck. Very important to roll in a straight line. So we like to emphasize a straight line. So what we don't want you to do is when you roll, is to get to roll back and land on your back, which is quite common when you're not confident. So the build-up process should bring you to the position where you can roll. So it's right leg, right hand forward. Now a common problem as well is that a lot of people will look down to their toes and try to crash dive the mat. What we want you to do is to look forward and little extension. If you imagine a mark on the mat, don't go to your toes. And what I like to say is, depending on the width of your feet, should be the width of your hand and the mat. So from here, let's do this again here. Reach, nice breakfall. Don't drop here, which is your toes. A good way to show you this is if you use the dojo line on the mat. If you notice the difference, my foot's on the line. Your hand, this is a bad rolling breakfall, where you put your hand close to the mat and roll over. That's no good. What we want you to do, where the first time I learned here, I like to say to everybody, try to reach for the second line, which is about equal to the stepping action which I mentioned. So from here, say to them, do not aim for this line, aim for that line over there, which gives you a good extension to do a nice rolling breakthrough. Once again, stand on the first line, aim for the second line. So as long as you distance yourself and don't collapse very close, this is where people land on their shoulder. If you roll very close like this, people will hurt their shoulder. And it's quite common because people, when they're learning, they try to cut corners. Doing things correctly is always difficult. So we want you to encourage them by relaxing. Step, reach forward, extend, kick off, roll, nice and smooth. And when you do a ukemi breakfall, you should be on the opposite shoulder. You roll on your right, but you land on your left. Left side, you start on your left, but your ukemi is on the right. Nice breakfall, close to your pocket, chin tucked in, so your head doesn't get hurt. Always be relaxed. The more relaxed you are, you're very supple, and you can roll over. So, we started from here. Okay, we come from here. We've done this. Now we've done this step. Stand straight. Nice big step forward. Reach forward. Nice breath. On the way back. Here. Now this is important. There's a basic Zenpo Kaiten Ukemi, which is a rolling breakfall. Another mistake we've got to watch out is when people roll over, they need to keep their legs straight. What we don't want you to do is to line your feet together, because this will have an impact on your heels, and that's dangerous. So always encourage the legs to be separate. And the legs must be straight. What we don't want is for you to bend your legs. So when you roll over, your legs must be straight. That protects your knees and your hips. Okay, so that's the fundamental principle of Zenpo Kaiten Ukemi. So this is a bad breakfall. Very common. People don't learn how to keep their legs straight. A correct method is your legs must be straight. Straight ahead, nice and safe. And your hands pointing the same way as your legs. What we don't want is hands all over the place. So, if you go away and practice that, that's just your basic Zenpo Kaiten Ukemi, right hand and left hand rolling breakfall. And we always recommend, before anybody does rolling breakfalls, you must teach the basic left hand, right hand, rear and forward breakfall. This way they know how to ukemi when they roll over. Okay, and then from here, we'll show you how to do some more complicated methods, different varieties of ukemi, which give you confidence to do judo. You can't be on the mat if you're scared of being thrown, if you're scared of landing. In judo, you get thrown in different directions, at different speeds, some awkward positions. The body, we have to be geared up to be able to respond instinctively to protect ourselves. So do practice your breakfalls. They're important from beginner to 8th dan. I still practice my breakfalls because they're a huge part of judo. Thank you.